face, interloper.
We'll take the draw, go nice and wide. I don't think there's any flash. Let's take the hit, and then we can make the zombie as well. Legion Grove, that's fine. Ooh, nice. Kenrith in his house. We got a decent amount of removal that we can get them with though. Just the combo wombo, Mire's Grasp, Warbriar's Blessing. Then we get the draw from the Eidolon. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back, and thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your very busy day to watch some Magic the Gathering Arena with your boy. Hello, good game. We've got an original deck for you guys that I made today, and we went 5-0 once we were done our playtesting. We did lose our first 2 matches, but even with those incorporated, we are talking about about a 71% win rate. Is a bait maybe a new Canadian word? I thought we were supposed to say a boot, not a bait. Anyways, this deck is really cool. It focuses around enchantments and auras. We've combined 2 really powerful strategies into one hybrid deck. I'm sure you're all aware of all that glitters, how explosive this can get while stacking enchantments and artifacts. And then I'm sure you also know about the fun of Mire's Grasp and Hateful Eidolon, right? Hateful Eidolon is an amazing draw engine, and Mire's Grasp is a very cool removal engine. And I say engine because it's replayable from the graveyard with Lurrus, which has also been incorporated into the deck because the majority of our enchantments are low cost, so we're going to be replaying them back from the grave for additional value. As always, if you find any value within this video, I encourage you to visit our channel, hit the subscribe button, join if you feel like supporting, and just dig into some of the content we have. Check it out. Go through our popular uploads. We have free to play decks, 0 rares, 0 mythics, tailored directly to the new player experience within Magic the Gathering Arena. You know, we've got the top standard decks and the top historic decks. We've got it all covered, drafts, yada, yada, yada. So subscribe to the channel and get ready for some great content. Here I have the deck statistics just to show that there's proof within the pudding to keep the comments at bay. Again, we've lost our first 2 matches, and one of them we actually got a rematch against Junipris Communis, and we got the win the second time, which is really, really cool. So we were able to go forth into victory once we kind of tuned the deck up a little bit, learnt our most effective play lines within this new meta, which is pretty cool. I've been having a lot of fun within the standard 2021 queue. So, you know, a 71% win rate on the play, we're at 60%, and on the draw, we're at 100%, which is unusual. Typically, we see decks that are much stronger on the play, not on the draw. So it's really, really nice to be able to take advantage of that typical weakness, mitigate it, and turn it into actually one of our strengths. So as always, we're breaking down the deck list in its entirety. We're going to talk about all of the cards. What do they all do? Then we're talking the deck tech, the strategies, the synergies. How do all of those individual cards come together to form a coherent archetype that all forms and flows really well together? Finally, we have the gameplay footage. We're going to break down all of the play lines and interactions within the standard 2021 meta. It's not simply enough to know how your deck operates from the deck tech, but you have to really understand how it operates against the rest of the meta and the environment. I know I talked about how we lost our first 2 matches. This is simply because there is a discovery process where you need to learn how it does best engage with the meta, because in theory crafting, you know, you're just guessing. I think this does great here and there. It's hard to incorporate all of the situations until you really get out in the water and start treading. So if you are a beginner and you're playing new deck lists, don't be worried if you lose your first couple matches, right? Typically, you might need to play 10-15 matches to get the knowledge base of how that deck operates within the meta under control, and then you can start taking advantage of it, right? So, you know, we're going to talk about that gameplay footage, watch through that. It's great today. And then we have my final thoughts. Normally we talk about deck upgrades if it's a free-to-play deck. If not, we just blabble on about future channel plans and all of that, right? So again, getting into this deck list immediately. I call it Calix's Cat Lurrus because we've got Calix in play. You know, this is a cool dude, right? He's obviously got a pretty cool cat. There he is, Lurrus, and he's even got a little baby cub with him. So you know this is going to be a good deck. Starting in with our 1-drops, we have Alseid of Life's Bounty. This is a 1/1 with lifelink. It's an enchantment creature, and we're using the enchantments to our benefit, right? So it's not a normal enchantment, which is off the board and might not see as much interaction or value. This is a creature enchantment, which is actually really cool because it's a hybrid, forming both a creature and an enchantment, so we can get aggro damage with it, and we can trigger all of our enchantment goodies. Karametra's Blessing ×4, instant speed, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's an enchanted creature or an enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. 4 copies of Hateful Eidolon, another enchantment creature here, 1/2 with lifelink. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you controlled that was attached to it. Into our true drops, we have 3 copies of Warbriar Blessing, an enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, enchanted creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control, and enchanted creature gets +0/+2. So a little added defense for that interaction to make sure you survive. 2 copies of Setessan Training. This is another enchantment aura. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, and enchanted creature gets +1 and +0 until end of turn. 2 copies of Destiny Spinner, a 2/3 enchantment creature. Enchantments and creatures that we cast cannot be countered, which is a lot of fun, right? Especially against a lot of the blue decks since Teferi's gone, so it's been basically a return to counter magic. Destiny Spinner is our last hope. In Standard 2021, we lose Shifting Ceratops, so it's really nice to ensure that some of our things won't be countered later on in the game. We can also pay 4. Target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It is still a land. 3 copies of Mire's Grasp, an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -3/-3. Aphemia, the Cacophony, a 2/1 with flying. Again, another enchantment creature. This one's legendary, and you'll see why. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And our deck is riddled with enchantments, so we can be throwing some zombies out into play potentially. All That Glitters ×2, another enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Into our 3-drops now. 2 copies of Demonic Embrace, another enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1, has flying, and is a demon in addition to its other types. You may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to its 3 mana cost and discarding a card. 4 copies of Setessan Champion, a 1/3 with Constellation. Do note that this is not an enchantment creature. I made the mistake of thinking it was at one point today. This is just a regular human warrior, but it does have Constellation, which is whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control. In Setessan Champion's case, put a +1/+1 counter on Setessan Champion and draw a card. Constellation just means something triggers when an enchantment enters the battlefield, and they each have different triggers. Setessan Champion's trigger is +1/+1 counter, draw a card, which is great. The first Iroan Games ×2. This is an enchantment saga, so again, triggering everything. It triggers first when it enters the battlefield, and then on each of the following upkeeps. On the first trigger, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token, followed up by put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Next up, if a creature you control with power 4 or greater exists, draw 2 cards. And then finally, create a gold token, which we can sacrifice for a mana of any color. 2 copies of Lurrus of the Dream Den. This is a 3/2 with lifelink. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. So not the Iroan Games, not the Champion, not the Embrace, but we can cast the Embrace from our graveyard anyways, so that doesn't matter. But the majority of our deck within the 2-drops and 1-drops gets recast. And then finally, we have 2 copies of Calix, Destiny's Hand for 4, a legendary planeswalker coming in with 4 loyalty, no static ability. However, the +1 look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment card from among them. Put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -3, exile target creature or enchantment if you, you don't control, exile target creature or enchantment you don't control until target enchantment you do control leaves the battlefield. Woof. And finally, -7, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is super duper good. These spells are accompanied by 2 plains, 2 swamps, 3 forests, 4 Temple of Silences, 4 Temple of Melodies, 3 Temple of Plenties, and 4 Indatha Triomes. The land is slow, but it is super consistent. You're always going to have the colors that you require to get going. We're playing best of 1 today, so there's no sideboard. You don't have to worry about it. And yeah, that's the deck list. Let's begin breaking down some of the strategies and synergies within the deck. So I kind of gave a spoiler as to, the general strategies within the deck, which is stacking enchantments, smashing your opponent with all that glitters, with Demonic Embrace, with Setessan's Champion. This is the big power behind it. And then we have the 2 forms of evasion through the Embrace, which gives the creature flying, or through the trading, which will give trample. So that's your main goal. Get a creature out, put all that glitters on it, give it trample, or give it flying, smash your opponent. We can also, just use Aphemia of the Cacophony or whatever, because it has flying, it organically has evasion on it. So that's really, really cool. That's our main goal. To get there, we probably want to make sure that we're removing our opponent's creatures as consistently as possible. Now this comes in through having Hateful Eidolon in play, and then we're playing things like our Mire's Grasp, like our Warbriar's Blessing, right, to start removing some of those creatures. And through the Grasp, we will draw the card because of Eidolon. Warbriar's Blessing won't draw us a card, but if they remove our Eidolon, which they should because it's our draw engine, then we're going to get to draw a card, right? So make the most out of that, and of course protect your spells from removal via Karametra's Blessing, Alseid of Life's Bounty's Sacrifice for protection, right? We are talking about evasion. Alseid of Life's Bounty also can offer evasion through protection if your opponent only has 1 color, and that's his defender. You can't get through. Give yourself protection from that color, and now they can't block you. Just make sure that you don't give yourself protection from the color of enchantments on your creature, because it will drop those enchantments. So be aware of that. And we've got the Cacophony as well, can exile enchantments from the grave to make the zombies. Might not be good if you plan on playing Lurrus. So as a priority, exile 3 or greater enchantments, like the Iroan games. We can't do the Champion or the Embrace because we definitely want to play the Embrace again, but the Iroan games is your first exile choice with the Cacophony, just because Lurrus isn't replaying it. Calix can replay it, but -7 is rare. That's going to be 3 turns of +1, and with all of this firepower, you should have them locked down long before that. If they have something to get rid of, Calix's minus is perfect. If not, just plus up and look for something really cool to put in your hand. I'm oversimplifying this, I know. Let's talk about the protection, right? We have the Blessing, we have the Bounty. We want to stack all the glitters on something with the Embrace for flying or the Training with trample. We protect that creature with the Blessing and the Bounty to make sure it can get in for lethal, or at least substantial chunks of damage. And then we're removing our opponent's creatures with the Grasp, with the Blessing. The Spinner is fun, it's flavor, especially if they can counter us at any time. So if they do get this out while they're tapped, and then you can kind of play the rest of the game a little bit easier, knowing that they're not disrupting you. The Iroan games is just a draw engine. Setessan's Champion is an even better draw engine, because every enchantment you play will not only buff her up, but draw you a card. So this makes an amazing target for your Demonic Embrace. I don't even mind Demonic Embrace on Alseid of Life's Bounty. This deck's kind of got that whole Angels and Demons vibe going on with it a little bit. The Bounty is the opposite of the Eidolon, and we have the Embrace opposite of all that glitters. So it's some cool stuff going on within here, and then it's all supported by the green, which is nice as well. So, that's it. Play all of your creatures, hold Lurrus in your hand until the very end, and it's like, okay, now he did deal with my field. Lurrus comes out, and we just start replaying it. You get your Eidolon in play. Lurrus can play your Mire's Grasp from the graveyard every turn. You're going to get a draw from the Eidolon plus removing your opponent's creature. So that's really, really cool. Right. You can replay all that glitters as well to power up an attacker again. There's nothing to it. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Once you guys see today's gameplay footage, you're going to see how straightforward it is. And really the only interactions you need to worry about is powering up one of your attackers with the Embrace, with the glitters, and then protecting it with the Bounty, with the Blessing, and then making the most out of maintaining field control through Hateful Eidolon and all the removal, and then just gaining card advantage through things like the Setessan Champion. Woof. I'm live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. At 7 a.m. we switch to Twitch, and then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. all times Mountain Standard. If you don't want to do the conversion, all you need to do is go to the bottom of this video. There's a description. There's a Linktree link. That'll take you to all of my links. You can click on the Twitch and the YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell icons, whatever's going on those respective platforms. I don't really know. And then you're going to be notified. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You don't have to worry about the time. Maybe I'm a few minutes late that day. Maybe I'm early. It's just going to pop up on your phone, and you can choose at that point to take part in the fun or not. We've got 350,000 gems still to give away, so don't forget to subscribe and join our Discord. Again, links in the description. And then most importantly, you guys, check out MTG Arena Assistant. This is amazing. You get deck stats, you get deck write-ups, you get deck videos, you get metagame analysis, you get collection stats, right? There is so much going on here. It's not even funny. So that is the Overwolf link in the description below. Check them both out. Thanks for your guys' time and attention. Again, I really appreciate it. And a massive shout out to all of our Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube financial support for making this a reality for all of you through me. Woof. I appreciate it, you guys. Stay tuned. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. And don't forget to watch to the end so you don't miss out on my final thoughts. Take care, and we'll see you soon. We have a creature. That's the main objective. And just maybe some trainings off the start. More land is good as well. A lot of scry land in the deck. That might be a little bit of a problem, but I like it to be consistent. I don't necessarily mind playing a turn slow. I think we toss that for now. We have the Blessing to protect glitters. I think we might just take the draw though. And then if they remove it, we'll get the draw as well. I think we can start tossing land, especially if it's scry land. For a few turns. Because, yeah, like we're dropping 4. We don't have any 4 in hand. So to collect land seems maybe a little arbitrary. Let's just hold up our Blessing and hammer in. Right, we're offsetting any damage they do through our life gain. Eidolon's cool, but without any removal in hand, it almost isn't the greatest. And Alseid would be better for a second layer of protection. Main phase Brazen Borrower there. We needed a break. We were struggling within the playtesting of this deck. Yeah, let's just double down, try to pull more protection. Land can go. Down to 7, we're at 31. Or down to 6, sorry. Okay, that's a massive bounce. Not the greatest. But they've been stuck on 2 land. And a lot of people are trying to abuse a low land deck within the Izzet. But maybe sometimes that can go against you, right? We have lethal if there's no removal. Not really a very entertaining match because they whipped on land, but that's kind of what happens if you risk running only 16 lands in your deck. I don't mind this hand. It's got a little bit of everything. We've got our 2-drop, which is neat. We can scry out of the gate. All that glitters is pretty cool. Removal should be a priority against the Selesnya deck, I think. We could go straight in with the Demonic Embrace. I don't think there's any instant speed there. Let's go wide. Right, just try to get value. No attacks. I'm sure there's a flash blocker here. Wildborn Preserver comes to mind. I cannot get away from this Wildborn Preserver. It's making a comeback. We have removal next turn unless he double wipes or double removes. Because the 4 or the 3 counters go on something. Okay, we're good to go. Preserver's been dealt with. We get a chunk of life from it. Take the scry as well. Another champion. I mean, the draw engine could be very beneficial. And then we can hit for another 4 life. Oof. That's alright. We've got our Embrace if they think they can block it. All that glitters as well. We should have tossed the champion and looked for another land. Right, and then we could have glittered with our Demonic Embrace. Good game. Opponent goes first. If there was a bad hand, this is it. We have a little bit of removal, but it's not the right kind. Let's take our black Source of Scry. Still looking for land. I don't know if we need a Triome. I want untapped land. We're going to play an Eidolon. Take another Scry. Okay. Still looking for something else. We've got a tapped land in hand already. It would be different if we didn't have one. Ooh, Eidolon's Gonzo. And they're coming into our hand as well for a non-creature, a non-land card. We can get rid of the Eidolon from the graveyard to make a zombie, which is good. Trying to go wide. Probably the Blessing. They might take Embrace too. Iroan Games also isn't bad. The Blessing if they have any creatures. It could be a control deck though, right? Just Sultai control, Sultai ramp. Hopefully we don't see an Uro. This turn we do lose our games. They are attacking our draw engines. Or land in play. Destiny Spinner, interesting. We get the 1/1 token. Oof, 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 oof. We still stay on the field, which is really what's important. We lose our abilities, though, is the thing. It loses all abilities, we don't get the zombie from the grave, and they get to exile our enchantments. Okay, okay. It's a nice chump blocker, nonetheless. That's a self-mill. Okay. Asa to the grave. I don't mind that. That means it's some sort of flash bounce deck, and then we get Nightmare back in hand. Interesting. I guess they go on the zombie. And should we just smash down? Is there single target removal there? We could protect it with our Blessing, which I think is what we should do. Right? Five damage in. That's fairly nice. We do have another Blessing of both varieties. He's got blessings as well. Everybody be blessed. I never realized how many cards were in the game with Blessing in it. There's 3 right here. I'm sure there's more. Woof. Okay, we're safe from removal. We've got a huge hit next turn with evasion. We pull a replacement. We pull a few replacements. Let's kind of do that same situation, I think, right? Get rid of the blocker. We could go with our Embrace, but then we can't hold up our Blessing, and I think the Blessing is really important. Let's hit for 6. Down to 8. We get our 4th land next turn via our gold token. We need to avoid a field wipe. Right? Eat to Extinction destroys us. We can start it all back up though. If he did wipe us, we'd play both creatures, hold up both Blessings. Damage to themselves through the Treacherous Blessings actually maybe been helping us quite a bit. And this is a rematch here. I believe we played Juniper's earlier. Okay, this is annoying. Incarnation can sack the Blessing, pull a creature for 4. What would they pull for 4? Down to 6 life. And we have protection if it targets us. Let's see. It would have to be some sort of flying shenanigans. But we can give protection from black, so they can't hit us or block us. But that would get rid of our demonic embrace. Okay. This, What if we gave it protection? Oh no, then we don't have flying. Well, we could give it protection from green and black. This isn't protection. This is our protection. Oh, we should have attacked for... No, that wouldn't have worked. Okay, we just get the trade. That's fine. We still have protection. Just holding on. Needing to avoid the extinction event is the thing, right? Extinction event gets us. The reach is pretty good, but now both colors or cards are green. We give it protection. We're only losing the blessing, which is the defense here. And we don't really need a ton of defense. Only 3. Or actually none, I guess, if we're giving ourselves protection from green. So the, okay, they are bouncing. Or what they would like to be doing is bouncing. They still have available mana, though, is the problem. And now more reach as well. Nice. Oh my gosh. That'll do it. That'll do it. The trample can protect us. And this... Okay, I think we have lethal here. Yeah. Right? Whew. That one was close. But we have gone 3 in a row here, so on a little bit of an uptrend, which is nice. It could be bad of us to mulligan this, and maybe we shouldn't. So we'll keep it because of the Scryland. And we will get the Alseid in play first, plus we have removal. But if our opponent doesn't have anything for us to remove, this is awkward. Demonic Embrace can stay. That makes it less awkward, but still pretty weird. Turn 1 passage, Ugin Sleeves, you know, the Hidden Adventurer avatar. Blessing can go. We don't know that there's anything to remove, so why stack it? We can Embrace next turn, but then we're just sitting ready for removal. But if that's all that's happening, that's what we're doing. Yep. Hit for 4, up to 24. Hopefully they just play an Uro and there's no removal. Interesting. I mean, Uro's not really a great play to be wanting, right? But it's better than some things. Land can go. I actually think we just make it stronger, don't we? Or do we scry? Let's end our turn. Scry. Or not scry, cycle. Similar. Like a very good scry. Another Uro. Still has 2 land, can put 3 in, right? We need to avoid that removal. And we need some protection. Could even play another Uro. Okay, to play another land. Nice. Let's take our cycle. We made the right decision. Okay. Let's buff up. I want to play Calix, but let's just take the removal and smash him. Take our scry. The flying could be really good. If they have any removal, we're kind of screwed. We have 0 protection. Down to 13, and we're at 38 though, so it's a little bit of a buffer. Uro's not quite ready to come into play yet. We can -3 on it if it does get into play though. Graveyard to your hand. Throws an Uro back. Okay, good play, good play. Is this Aliquoid of Affliction going to be trouble for us? Do we need to remove it? Let's just play the aggressor.
Petty gods, foolish mortals have unbalanced our world. The stars will light our way.
Down to 11, we're at 43. Okay. We are odd. They are even. Calix gets smacked. We still have Demonic Embrace to utilize, though. Their 3rd Uro. Whew! How does that always happen? You know, there's 40 cards in the library, and they've played 3 of their best cards.
Is this pain?
Eidolon in play. Grasp on the Affliction for the draw. Let's take a draw here as well. Take the spinner. We can play that.
Patterned future appears before me.
The flyers would have been good as well, right? Because Uro will hit, and that way we still had damage output. But, yeah. We need to get Demonic Embrace out and then use our Blessing, I guess, to kill Uro. This guy's nasty. We have a -3 on one of them. One, two, three, four, 5 land.
Return to your place, interloper.
We'll take the draw, go nice and wide. I don't think there's any flash. Let's take the hit, and then we can make the zombie as well. Legion Grove, that's fine. Ooh, nice. Kenrith in his house. We got a decent amount of removal that we can get them with, though. Just the combo wombo. Mire's Grasp, Warbriar's Blessing. Then we get the draw from the Eidolon. Choo choo! We're going first. The hand looks pretty bad. This is interesting if we can continue to pull land all the way to 4. Alseid and all that glitters. Eidolon can all be brought back by Lurrus. Interesting. I don't mind it. We have to toss something though. And I guess it should be our Calix because 2 land. Right? If we can avoid a field wipe and get removal, these Eidolons will save the day. I may just all that glitters it, and then if there is a wipe, we can go in with our second set of them. Oh, there's no, he just goes straight to Riddle form. The 4 toughness avoids a lot of the 2 and 3 cost spells that are damage based, but not a petty theft. So sad, so sad, so sad. Right, we're not going to play Lurrus yet. If that's the way we're playing it, let's go wide. Brazen Borrower upsets me. It's good. Scry 1. Looking to remove an Eidolon. 3/3 comes out. That's fine. Hopefully we pull an untapped land. Negative. Oof. Ooh. I guess we can make zombies here. That's always nice. Gain some of that life back that he was dealing in damage. They were dealing in damage. And we hold up the Blessing, which can be used on any of our creatures because they're all artifacts. We can push out a zombie from the Eidolon because we want to play all that glitters with Lurrus. And if we draw land, we'll hold up our Blessing. Storm's Wrath gets us really good. Again, we can protect anything but the zombie. Main phase opt for the Riddle form, which we'll take the damage for. Another land back up to 4. No Ember Cleave. Only 5 available. Just take the damage. Our turn. Down to 9. Or we can't block. Even if we draw a land, we can't play it. So we're tossing it, right? Just making the most out of what we have right now. Keeping our blessing up. The riddle form, if he doesn't attack with it, can block us next turn, and that could be not great. You know what I mean? That was a Bone Crusher right to our chin. Getting hit for 6-8. I believe we have lethal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. I'm pretty sure we're fine, right? 6, 9, 12. 4 left. Our turn. All attack. Blessing in the house. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 wins in a row. We are killing it. Woof. You know, I didn't even have this high of hopes for the deck, but getting a 5 win streak within Mythic, that's good. That is all you need. If you can do 5 wins, 2 losses, and repeat that pattern, you are laughing. You know, and I get it, the sample size is super small. You shouldn't put the percentage on. My lovelies, YouTube operates on clicks. We've been through it. If I label the decks correctly, Abzan Enchantments, Luris, and Calix, I might get 1,000 views. I might get 2,000 views. If I don't say Abzan, if I just say this new deck is a banger, I'll get like 5,000 views. My apologies. All of our videos are sorted into the appropriate playlist so you know what they are, right? You can go to the channel's homepage, which we already showed you. It's really, really easy to access. And, you know, if it's free to play budget you're looking for, boom, everything's sorted here. Standard, historic, brawl, right? Everything you need is going to be sorted in those playlists, and everything is going to be new to old. So no matter what you're looking for, we've got it. My apologies for the naming of the videos. I get it. I've come from this spot for the last 2 years, basically, where I've been trying to document the video titles so they're easily searchable for people. But I guess that's not how it works. You know, we've talked with people within our analytics, and they say, do not do that. You are only hurting yourselves. Don't listen to the 10 people who don't like it. Cater to the millions of people who you want to watch your content, or the hundreds of thousands in my case with Magic. So it's a little bit smaller of an audience. But regardless, you know, I understand, and I just wanted to make it apparent of what is actually going on. I'm not trying to clickbait the heck out of you guys, but I am trying to grow the channel. I am trying to create a business, and I most definitely am trying not to go back to work full-time anymore. So unless it's here with you guys, right? So I appreciate your understanding within this, and yeah, thank you. We're live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. We switch to Twitch at 7 for like 5 to 8 hours, 3 if we're lucky, but I doubt it. And then we're on YouTube again at 6 p.m. All times are Mountain Standard. You don't want to do the conversions, I understand. In the description, there's a Linktree link, and that will take you to my respective YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, and then you can follow and subscribe, hit the notification on your phone, and then you get to be notified, and you don't have to worry about if I'm early or late. You just, well, he's there, we can choose to or not. I promise you I won't bug you too much. I'll try not to anyways. So again, I really appreciate your time and attention, the financial support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, making this a possibility. You guys are amazing. I hope you enjoyed Calix's cat Luris, because it's a pretty cool combo combining all that glitters enchantments with the removal of Hateful Eidolon enchantments forged together in an Abzan Calix Enchantments Luris deck. And again, we've got to find a cooler title for it than that. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.